This episode is brought to you by Nana's Deli. Looking for a taste of classic comfort? Head to Nana's Deli, a local legend since 1981. With 2 convenient locations in Livingston and Jersey City, Nana serves up the best in deli goodness. Whether you're craving their famous tuna salad, mouth-watering sloppy joes, pile-high pastrami, or a bowl of their signature soups, every bite is a taste of tradition. And don't forget to order my signature Food Czar Flats. Plus, Nana's Deli offers catering perfect for any occasion because who doesn't love great food made with care? Visit Nana's Deli today and experience the flavors that have been making memories for over 40 years. Make sure you mention Food Czar Podcast to receive 10% off your next order. Visit nanasdeli.com for menus, hours, and locations. This episode is sponsored by Likeware, the team that created my Food Czar logo and merch. I've worked with them personally, and they made the whole process super easy and professional. Likeware specializes in custom spirit wear and logo wear for schools, events, fundraisers, and even podcasts. They handle everything from design and printing to online stores and fulfillment using top quality brands. They may be based in Delray Beach, Florida, but they ship nationwide and offer free shipping on orders over 50 pieces. Visit likeware.com or email info@likeware.com to get started. Likeware, wear what you like. Mention Food Czar Podcast to receive a discount on your next order.
This is Behind the Counter.
Beyond the counter.
With the Food Zone. Here's Heidi.
Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Counter with the Food Czar, which is me, Heidi Blum. And today, I feel like I have like an inside track on something you guys are all going to want to know about, a really exciting new restaurant that's opening up in Montclair, which it's not even about the restaurant. To me, it's about the chef and this badass woman named Leia Gaccione. Did I say it right?
I love it.
I tried my best.
Listen, you can be creative with it.
I tried. But I am sitting, Leia, I'm just going to say, I have followed you for a while now. I think any foodie, any New Jersey foodie, any Top Chef, diehard, which there's many of them, has followed your journey.
I am also a Top Chef diehard.
Well, I would hope so that you were on it, but we're going to get to all of that. So let's start from backwards for a second. We are sitting at 32 Church Street in Montclair.
Yes. First sneak peek.
I know.
First sneak peek.
I feel really honored, by the way.
Okay,
this
good.
is like Food Czar VIP shit. So 32 Church Street, Montclair, New Jersey, your brand new restaurant, which is currently in its restoration mode, I would say. Good word. And it's going to be called the St. Clair.
Yes.
When are we looking to open?
Fingers crossed for June 2025. It's a lot of cosmetic stuff that needs to be done, but right now we're playing the game of like, how long is it going to take to get the wallpaper? How long is it going to take to get the tiles? When are the chairs going to be here? So that's kind of what's going to hold anything up, but hoping in June.
So I told Leia, and I'm going to say it to you now that it's being recorded so you hear what I'm saying. This space has amazing energy. So I'm going to say it at the end of the interview too, but I'm just reminding you as we're talking and sitting here, so I want you to feel the energy I'm feeling. This is a new chapter. This is exciting.
Yes.
And I feel like really positive things happening in these walls.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, it's such a beautiful space, but this is my favorite street.
It's everyone's. This is like location. You know when they say location.
Yep.
This is like not even location times 3. This is like what they mean when they say location.
Yeah.
Church Street in Montclair is where it's at.
Yes.
The end, exclamation point.
I stopped here on Saturday. One of my friends came over and I wanted to show her the space. And so like we walked over on Saturday, and Saturday was beautiful. It was like 80 degrees.
Gorgeous.
So I walked her through the back door. We didn't even walk on Church Street, and I gave her a tour of the space. And then we walked out down the alley out front. And it was, just
buzzing.
The best energy. And like all the trees are blooming and the little petals are fluttering around in the spring breeze. And it's like people are sitting next door to Montevino having a glass of wine. People are sitting at Raymond's having the best French toast ever. Like it's just a really good place to be with a lot of my friends and a lot of people that I admire.
I mean, that right there, that sums up the good energy,
Yeah.
right? All right, so let's now kick it back. Little Leah.
She was such a good girl. I
Was
don't know
she?
what happened.
Where'd you? Life happens. It happens to all of us. We find many different roads. So you grew up where?
Passaic.
In Passaic. So right around here, really?
Yep, Howe Ave in Passaic, born and raised. Went to Catholic school. Started at public school in Passaic, school number 2.
Yeah.
And actually was it school number 1? We're gonna have to fact check that for sure. But
okay.
my grandpa ended up sending me to St. John Canty in Clifton.
Right.
So I went to Catholic school. I was a nice Catholic school girl with my little pleated skirt.
I mean,
and
you don't look like the Catholic school girl.
not anymore.
No, I'm just
That's
saying,
what I said. What happened?
Yeah.
So yeah, I went to school. Went to DePaul and Wayne for high school, and junior year, it's time to apply for college. Montclair State lost my application.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. Told me I wouldn't be able to start until the following semester. Of course, I had like a meltdown, like you think you're having a midlife crisis at 17 years old. And I worked at a bookstore, and Dave Didymo, shout out to Dave Didymo. How are you? Broke up with me over the phone. And
Dave.
I know. I have another ex named Dave too. Maybe we should cut
move
that
on.
out. Yes. So I was really down and out. Like my boyfriend broke up with me. I wasn't going to college. And my boss at the bookstore was like, "What do you love?" And I was like, "I love cooking." And he's like, "My wife goes to culinary school in the city. You want to take a tour?" And I was like, "All right." So he set up the tour for me, and me and my mom went. We took the train from Passaic to Hoboken. We got on the path. We went to the World Trade Center. This is in 2000. This was probably in 2000.
Wow.
Okay. So we go into this building on the corner of Varick and Canal. It's like an iconic New York City building. Not like
Well, it's right by the
90-degree.
Holland Tunnel.
Exactly. It's like that weird like triangle
Yes, of
kind of
course.
looking. Okay, so we go inside and we go up the elevator's open. Every room is a kitchen. And I was like, wow, this is insane. Like the windows are so big and you see, 10 stoves in one room.
Oh my God.
And like immediately I was like, yes, this is it. So we signed up that day.
Did you grow up, when you were home just throughout your childhood years cooking?
Yeah. So my mom was a single mom.
Right.
And she would be like working a job in the morning and a job at night and another job on the weekends. And so we kind of had to like figure
Fend for
it
yourself,
out.
yeah.
100%. So I would cook. And listen, we grew up in Passaic, humble beginnings. Okay.
Sure.
So like lots of packet ramen,
Yeah.
box mac and cheese. We weren't eating like filet mignon.
Right.
Although my mom was really good. Like we were never picky kids. I also have a brother. She would give us asparagus and broccoli. Like we loved gavadil and broccoli. I mean, so we
Love
weren't picky.
gavadil.
I know,
Yeah.
me too. So yeah, I would cook for myself, but I also loved watching people cook. Like I loved it. We would go upstairs by my grandpa. We lived in a 2-family house and we would watch the old school Iron Chef. The
Oh,
one in
yeah, like the
Japan.
one in Japan. That was
Yeah.
the best.
Yes.
That was like the first, there was Julia Child.
Loved watching Julia,
Right. There
Frugal
was
Gourmet.
Ina, right?
Ina Garten.
Yeah.
Yep.
But Iron Chef Japan was really the first competition that we saw.
For sure.
Yeah.
First cooking competition.
And it was fascinating because they used ingredients that you were like, I didn't even know this existed.
Right.
Right? Yeah.
And it was really cool to see the guy come out and say, Alice Cuisine. And then they would start and you have 60 minutes. And that's real. It is a true 60 minutes. You have no idea.
Wait, hold on. Were you on Iron Chef?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We got to get there.
Yeah, so I was always like obsessed with watching people cook on TV. When I was little, before Food Network, Yan Can Cook would be on TV and he would just like blow through an onion with his knife. And I was like, I don't know. Even since I was little, I was always like, I want to do that.
You were attracted to it.
But
yeah.
I never thought that I could do it as a career. Even when I started culinary school, I went for restaurant management and culinary arts. And I thought that I was going to be like a front of the house manager. So I started working in the front of the house at Charlie Brown's Steakhouse in Clifton. That was like
No way.
my first like paid job. I had an internship in Hoboken in the kitchen.
Yeah.
But like my paying job, like I'd go to culinary school during the day and then I'd take the train back. I'd get back at like 5 and I'd go to Charlie Brown's and I was the host or I was a server.
That's
And,
amazing.
Yeah.
When you say culinary arts, is that cooking? Or is that plating?
It's cooking, it's plating, it's all of it. So you have like different courses, like you'll have a butchery course, or you'll have a course just on all the mother sauces, or you'll have a course on just pastry. My pastry course was 11 weeks.
Okay.
I gained 15 pounds in 11 weeks. True story.
Wow. Well, because you have to
15
try everything you're eating, right?
This is what we still have to do. This is one of my biggest things. It's like if you're not tasting, you're not cooking.
You have to taste
One of my
it.
bosses
Yeah.
taught me that. One of the most valuable lessons.
What was your favorite? So I think, what did they call it? A program that you have to take? Like a
Yeah.
So it's butchery is one program.
Yep.
Pastries is another. What was your favorite out of all of them?
I mean, I just love, I love everything about this industry, about food. Like, I love cooking food for my job. I love eating food. I love talking about food. I love watching people cook. So, I loved all of it.
Yeah.
I even liked there were also restaurant management classes. So I even liked that. And a lot of people, these schools are so expensive these days. Some of these kids are like, I'm going to the CIA. I'm like, honey, come work in my kitchen.
And that's how you could learn.
That's school. Working in the industry it's still school for me, 20 something years later.
You're a chef, not a mathematician.
Exactly.
So you go from Charlie Brown's. So then so you graduate from the culinary school. What culinary school was it?
New York Restaurant School.
Okay. So is it still there?
I don't think so. They
Okay.
changed it to the Art Institute of New York City.
Okay.
And then I think they got rid of the culinary program.
Okay. So you graduate from there.
Graduated. I was working in the kitchen at a restaurant in Hoboken doing my internship.
Okay.
They wanted me to stay on full time, but I worked my way up the ladder at Charlie Brown's pretty quickly. Within a year, I started as a host. Then they made me a server. Then they made me a trainer. Then I became an associate manager, and I wanted to become an assistant manager.
Were you not even thinking about being in the kitchen at this point?
No.
Wow.
No, but there weren't a lot of examples of a woman being in the kitchen, which is so funny because traditionally,
Yeah. A woman's in the kitchen.
correct.
That's so funny.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So you're growing
So I
through
work
the
my way
corporate
up.
ladder of it. Yeah.
Every week they're doing these seminars that you can opt into. So I start going to these seminars for free because I want to get to the assistant manager, but they wouldn't promote me. So one day I was pissed and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see if I could work in a kitchen somewhere. So I got this gray suit, pinstripe gray suit from Express with this button down, a mauve and maroon and white striped shirt.
Uh-huh.
I got a pair of stilettos with a kitten heel, and I strutted my little ass. At the time, it was very little, back when I was 18 years old, into Montclair, New Jersey, and I handed my resume out to 15 different restaurants. One of the last restaurants I stopped at was called Liberté. It's where Cuban pizza is now.
Sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
you remember it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I walk in, and there's this French guy in the kitchen. So I introduce myself. I give him my resume. He says, okay, I just have to ask you a question. I'm like, okay. He's like, do you know what a gastrique is? And I'm like, no, chef, I'm so sorry. I don't know what that is. And he's like, all right, I'll reach out to you if we're interested. So I said, okay. Went back to work at Charlie Brown's. A couple nights later, the host comes to find me, and she's like, there's some guy out front looking for you. Mind you, this is back in the day, girl. This is back in the day. This is when there was a smoking section in the restaurant, in the lounge.
That is back in the
It
day.
really
Yeah.
is. So, I walk through the lounge, and I see the chef. It's the chef from Liberté.
Comes to find you.
Comes to find me.
Which isn't sketchy at all at any time, by the way. Okay, yeah.
Certainly is looking back now.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if I did that now?
No.
Yeah, that would be really weird. So he's like, I was thinking about it, and I want to offer you the job. And I was like, all right. And I was thinking about it, and I know what a gastrique is now. So I told him, and that was my first kitchen. It was just him and I. It was this couple who owned it. Hans was Turkish and Renata was German. So it was such a little European mishmash on the menu.
Yeah.
Hans would be in the kitchen with a Parliament light hanging out of his mouth, mixing crab cakes. This is back in
That's
2002,
crazy.
2003. Yeah. So, we're really throwing it back. So it was me
Yeah.
and Frank in the kitchen. And that was my first taste. And it was off the bat, I was kind of like his sous chef because it was just the two of us.
Sure.
And so I learned a lot. It was very hands-on. And then...
Were you happy? Like, how did you feel going from I want to be the assistant manager to now really being a sous chef? Were you like, this is where I'm meant to be?
You know, I really loved working in the kitchen. From that moment on, there was like no turning back. Now, I can do both, but my heart is in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I can talk to the people, which is a great quality to have because I feel like sometimes chefs don't have that bone.
Yeah.
But like for me, it's like cooking, creating, and like making this thing that someone's going to enjoy and you can watch them enjoy it. Like that brings me so much joy. It brings me so much pleasure. Like I feel really lucky that I found the thing in life that I love to do.
Well, and if you're good at what you do, which you are, but if you're good at what you do, you really make somebody else's night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Your food, your passion, your love for it translates into someone else's night.
Right. Whether it's you're coming to celebrate for an anniversary or you just had the worst fucking week ever and you need a place to commiserate. Like we've had people, I've had like 2 girls and one girl's crying her eyes out and I'm like, wow, I don't know what happened. But then I send them a dessert because I see she's upset and
like,
it
that's
makes
so nice.
It makes them happy.
Yeah.
That's what that's ultimately it. Like we just want to make people happy.
So how long are you at Liberté for?
I was probably...
Were you there when it switched to Cuban Pete's? Mm-hmm. Is Cuban Pete's still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's been there forever. That was
long time.
For us Livingston people, Cuban Pete's, when it first opened, was like, I mean, that was it. That was the place.
Yeah. I think I was like 21 when they opened. So that's got to be like 21 years ago.
And were you a sous chef there?
So Liberté, I worked there. And in the winter, the business dropped because they had that beautiful little patio. And so they like put Chef Frank on part-time and they had me there 5 days a week.
Okay.
And then lo and behold, it comes out that they're selling and Dominic is buying and he's going to put Cuban Pete. So he's like, listen, we need to renovate. It's going to take 3 months. Just sit tight. And then when we're going to open, I'll call you back. I'm like, okay. So I get a job recording meeting minutes for an acupuncture school. Like I cannot do administrative work. I don't want to. That's why I do this. Because like even at Easter dinner, I have like something in my hands that I'm like playing with the ball that's for the tablescape. And my friend's like, stop doing that. And I'm like, I can't help it. I need to do something.
You can't, yeah.
So finally, like 3 months is almost up. So I popped my head in one day to see how construction's going because the acupuncture school is across the street. And Dominic was there. And he's like, I need to introduce you to the chef. So I'm like, okay. So it's this guy, Carl. And he has cool glasses and he has cool clogs and he has like his ripped up jeans on the bottom. And I'm like, wow, who's this guy? Here's this pack of Marlboro Lights hanging out on the table. I'm like, all right, here we go. And he's like, you're going to be one of my cooks. And I'm like, yeah. So
you get yourself cool glasses. That's like your signature now. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. It's all because of Carl.
Yep.
So we finally open. And like after the first day, Carl comes up to me and he's like, you're my sous chef. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, all right. And I had no fucking idea what I was doing. Like,
well, why? Because it's a different.
I was such a baby. I was like barely 21.
But you did it for Liberté.
Yeah, but this was
on a higher level, more volume.
Yeah, this guy opened the doors to 300 people on night one. The tickets were hanging off the machine down to the floor and then like all through the kitchen. Like, and Carl put me on Expo on my first night.
God.
I had never expoed for something like that before ever in my life.
So you see the tickets coming in and were you like, holy shit?
You just can't. I couldn't keep up. I could not keep up.
Oh my God.
It was insane. We were working 7 days a week. We were working like 95 hours a week.
Wow.
Like morning to night, 7 days a week. We would go in at 8. We would receive the deliveries. We would prep everything out. But Dominic was like a little psychotic. I mean, when I tell you he opened the doors night 1, 300 people, that's no lie.
Well, it was you know,
it still is.
It still is. I was
just
going to say, but I remember when they first opened and we would go there. It was so fun. It was, you know, they would make the margaritas for you, all of it. Or sangria. What was it? Sangria?
Yeah. And then ABC came in and knocked over all the pitchers.
Yeah.
I got out of there just in time. Yeah.
Oh my God. Mm-hmm. So it was, you know, it was a hot spot when it first opened.
Yes. Very much. And
Really?
they're still, I hear
Yeah.
that they're like one of the highest grossing BYOs in Jersey still.
That's incredible.
Absolutely.
So how long did you stay there for?
So I don't think we were there very long. I think that I want to say less than a year.
Oh, wow.
It got a little sketchy when ABC came in and they like they didn't have a liquor license and they didn't have a wine license, but like they were selling sangria with alcohol in it. And so things got a little hairy.
ABC is the company, is the
Alcohol, beverage control.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I kept telling Carl, I'm like, Carl, like we got to get out of here. Like this
Something
is bad.
bad's gonna happen.
He's like, don't worry. He's like, I got you. You're going to come with me. I got you. So he ended up going to Son Cubano in New York City
Okay.
on 9th and 14th.
So same type of food?
Same type of vibe.
Yeah.
That was like his thing. He was the chef at a restaurant called Azúcar. That was his restaurant. And now he was going to Son Cubano. So he took me with him. And that was maybe the most fun I've ever had working in a kitchen. I loved Carl. Carl passed away in 2001.
My God.
I love that guy.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
It's okay. If there was like one person that I wish I could talk to on the reg, it's him, especially with all this going on. Yeah, like he's the guy.
Well, it sounds like, of course, I'm going to ask you who your mentors are. I mean, it sounds like he was really the first
Yes.
one who gave you the passion,
Yep.
the excitement, the knowledge, all of it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
So, yeah, thank you.
This was like you said, 2002.
Yeah, early 2000s.
So he passed away like in that time frame?
No, he just passed away. Just
Oh, I
after
thought you
COVID
said,
hit,
I'm sorry.
like
You said
2021.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I thought I heard 2001.
Yeah, we worked at Son Cubano together, and then, it's funny. You learn one of two ways in life. You learn by someone showing you as an example of how to be, or
Yep.
you learn by seeing who you don't want to be.
Yes.
And so I love Carl so much, but he would be out, like he would call me at 7:00 on a Friday. I'm in the kitchen. He's like, Leah, I need 3 orders of empanadas. I'm like, okay, what table? He's like, no, I'm across the street at the bar. Can you bring them over? I'm like, motherfucker. So I would like run them across the street for him. So one day he shows up and he's like, you know who I just met down at Chelsea Market? Because we were like a couple blocks away. And I'm like, who? He goes, this guy, his name is Guy. He's on the Food Network. This was when Food Network.
When he was doing the next Food Network star?
Yes.
Yeah.
Barely
A
famous.
name. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I think I saw him on TV. He's like, yeah, he's going to come and do a pilot at at Son Cubano, like in 2 days. And so lo and behold, a couple days later, Guy Fieri shows up with Carl.
No way.
Yep. And they come in the kitchen and they're like, all right, we're going to make this Cuban dish, ropa vieja with yuca. Leah, we're going to ask you about the yuca. When Guy's talking to you, look at Guy.
Is this when did he win?
He won.
Or was this for that
Yep.
show?
Yep.
I feel like I remember that because
Yeah.
I used to watch that show
Yeah.
too.
This is like way...
Wow.
This is what started his career.
Yeah, they
his
had
te-
to
his
do.
television
They
career.
had to produce a show. Yeah. Oh my God.
So Guy's like, don't look at the camera, look at me. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So he's like asking me about the yuca, and I just keep looking at the camera going like the yuca, and he's like, Leah, look at me. And I'm like, what the yuca? And I'm like, I can't, I'm so nervous, I can't help
Oh my
it.
God.
So Carl ended up getting an offer from Guy to go out to California.
Wow.
Carl asked if I wanted to come. At the time, I was dating this guy. Like
Dave. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
No, not Dave. This other douchebag.
Yeah. Not named Dave.
No,
yeah.
we won't name names.
Yeah.
And I was struggling with naming the name, but I'm not gonna. We
No,
won't call
that's
him
okay.
out. But I stayed in Jersey because I was dating this guy. I will never change my career plans for a man ever again in my life.
Good.
I will not.
It's recording, so we're going to hold you to that.
Yes. You know what? This fills me.
Yep.
And I always have to keep in mind that, like, this is what makes me happy.
And you come first, by the way.
Right. So, like, somebody
you
has to
feel-
be able to support that in me.
Do you feel that was a missed opportunity for you to not go to California?
I think that my life could have been different,
Yeah.
but I think that everything happens for a reason.
Sure.
And ultimately, Carl went to California. I stayed in Jersey. I left Son Cubano. I came to work at another place in Montclair called Gaucho Steak.
Okay.
From Gaucho Steak, there was a review that came out reviewing the restaurant, and then Raymond called me because he
Of
saw the
Raymond's?
review.
I
Yeah.
mean, how full circle is that?
Yeah, no shit.
For those that are listening and don't know Raymond's and maybe don't know Church Street, it's like 2 doors down.
Yep.
Wow.
So I went to work for Raymond. And I worked for him for probably a little over a year.
Wow. I mean, when Raymond's opened, that was, still crazy to get in there.
Dude,
Yeah.
His business plan, what he has created here in this city is amazing.
Yeah.
And it's something to be so proud of. And I still love to go and sit on his patio and have brunch. I mean, there's days I live just like 4 blocks down Bloomfield Ave.
Yeah.
But like on a Monday, like this morning, I'll call my best friend and we're like, all right, meet at the gym at 9. And we're like, all right, 9:30, it's Monday. Like Monday is our day off because he's a hairstylist and I'm a chef.
Oh, yep. Uh-huh.
And like we'll meet on the corner at like 9:30 and we'll both be like, should we just go to Raymond's instead of the gym? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, great. And then we'll just go eat French toast. So like I still love it there.
Yeah.
And I learned so much from working for him in being able to feed people great food that's locally sourced and creative and get them in and out.
Yes.
Like I really.
Yeah, it's no joke in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Were you
just
the
turned.
chef there or were you or still a sous chef?
Yeah, I was the chef. I was 23.
Oh, wow.
I was 23. I was working 6 days a week, about 75 hours a week. I would go there in the morning. I would prep the lunch special. I would run upstairs, expo lunch, run back downstairs, do the ordering, help the guys prep the dinner special, run back upstairs, expo dinner, clean up, go home. Like same thing, 6 days a week.
Rinse and repeat.
And yeah, they were doing crazy numbers. Like
Yeah.
I had never worked in a restaurant that was such high volume before. They were doing like insane numbers on the weekends. And I learned a lot from doing that. It was a great experience in how to work with volume. And Raymond was friendly with one of the managers at Bar American in Manhattan.
Sure.
And so he said to me, hey, like, I know somebody who works at one of Bobby Flay's restaurants in the city. Like, do you want to go for a couple days and like just see what makes them successful?
Was that was Bar American one of Bobby's first restaurants, or was it Mesa?
Mesa was his first, yeah.
So he was
Another
was he
iconic
younger?
spot.
I mean, that was I used to love it there.
Yeah, me too.
Was but this was early on in his restaurant career
Yeah,
too.
this was, well, I think he opened Mesa in the 90s. So this is like going like maybe like early to mid 2000s.
Oh, so he was already an established name.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. So I was like, yeah, I'm up for the challenge. So I was so young and I was like, I had never been a chef, like the chef before.
Yeah.
I was kind of like teaching myself. So if I had the opportunity to go to somebody else's kitchen who was super successful,
Super well known.
iconic,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Of course I'm going to say yes. Now, I was a Food Networkaholic, okay? Keep in mind, this is what started my love for food. And I never really liked the guy, I got to be honest with you. Back when Grillin' and Chillin' came out, he was a dick
Yep.
to the country guy.
Yep.
Constantly. I'm like, who is this city boy, right? He is mean. So in my mind, I'm like, I'm going in there, I'm getting the intel, and then I'm getting out.
Right.
My last day, the chef, Peter, he goes, listen, what are you doing next Tuesday? I'm like, I'm working. He's like, well, Bobby's going to be here filming. Like, you should come back. I want you to meet him. And I'm like, all right, well, I have to talk to Raymond. So I talked to Raymond. Raymond's like, cool, no problem. I'm like, great.
So you hadn't met Bobby at this point?
No,
Okay.
I was only working with Peter, the chef de cuisine.
Okay.
So I go back in on Tuesday and like, I see all the cameras set up in the dining room. They're like filming the intro to Throwdown.
Oh, sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And I'm in the kitchen and I'm like helping Peter prep. Like I was making mango relish for the snapper dish that had like a beautiful shingled plantain crust on it. So I'm like cutting red onions for this relish. And then all of a sudden, Flay strolls in the kitchen. Now I am flustered. I am starstruck. I can't believe that he's actually in the kitchen. So he like walks right up to me. My hands start shaking.
Oh my God.
And he's like, hi. And I'm like, hi, I'm Leia. And he's like, I'm Bobby. And I'm like, nice to meet you. And then under my breath, I was just like, oh my God, this is crazy. And he goes, what's crazy? And I'm like, it's just crazy that you're here. And he goes, it's my fucking restaurant. What do you expect? And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. And I like darted around to the back of the kitchen because I turned beet red.
Yeah.
And that was it. He went back out. He kept filming. I finished what I was doing. I went home. And then like 2 months later, I'm in the basement at Raymond's. Lori, I still keep in touch with her, was the host. She comes downstairs and she's like, Leah, Liz from bar something is on the phone. And I'm like, oh my God, I left my credit card at the bar. Mind you, I'm like 23 years old, right? I'm like, I left my credit card at the bar last night. So I get on the phone. She's like, hey, Leah, it's Liz from Bar American. I have Bobby sitting right next to me, and he wants to know if you're interested in having a future with us. And I was like, can I give you my cell phone and you can call me right back? So I like run outside. We set up a meeting. I sat down with him, and I was just I was so impressed with everything that he had to say. I was so impressed with the way that he spoke about food, and I wanted to be a part of something like that.
I'm sure. I mean, first of all, as a career move, it's probably huge.
Yeah. So I started at Bar American as the executive sous chef. It was exhilarating. It was a dream come true. And then he decided that he was going to open Bar American in Mohegan Sun in Connecticut.
Yep.
He asked me to be the opening chef. I went up there.
Wow.
I opened it. I was there for 2 years.
So I guess your impression of Bobby Flay changed.
A little bit. A little bit. I love that guy now. Raymond called me back. Raymond was opening Ridgewood. And
it's another great location.
Yep. And he was like, for like a year, he was calling me, and I kept saying, no. And then finally he made me an offer, and I was like, okay, I'll do it. I'll come back.
Made you an offer you can't refuse.
Literally.
Yeah.
So I told Flay, I gave my notice. Flay was not thrilled with me. And then it was like 3 weeks before I was supposed to start with Raymond again. And Bobby's, not culinary director, his director of operations came in, and he was like, hey, Lee, how's it going? And I was like, good, how are you? And we were just talking. And he started telling me about these things going on at Mesa Grill. And I'm like, why do you have that guy working there? I'm like, you guys should just put me there. And he's like, are you serious? And I'm like, I don't know. And he's like, hold on, I'll be right back. Flay calls me. He goes, how's it going? You excited to start your new job? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, never mind. I'm like, no. What are you calling me for? He's like, listen, I need somebody at Mesa Grill in Manhattan. Do you want to be the chef de cuisine there? How am I supposed to say no to that?
You don't say no to that.
Yeah.
You can't say no to that.
So
sorry, Raymond.
I called him crying
I'm
hysterically.
sure, because that's not an easy decision.
And
on a lot of levels, by the way.
It was very difficult, but to work for the flagship restaurant of
Bobby Flay.
Such a talented, listen, the guy got a lot of heat. He is a very talented chef. His flavors are incredible.
Yep.
I feel so lucky that I was able to work for someone like him. I learned so much, not only about cooking and how to make food hit you in the face with flavor, but also how to run a business, how to manage people
successfully.
Learned so much. And the biggest takeaway from working for him is that I'm a teacher. That's my number one job. And every day you have to approach this as you're a teacher.
Yeah.
Because that's literally you can't get frustrated. You certainly can get
when
frustrated.
People don't know what they're doing who are working underneath you.
Right. You just have to check yourself.
A chef de cuisine is you're the chef making the food. Because there's other chef titles, right? There's the, what's the other one that does sort of the inventory?
Sous chef? Steward?
Maybe that's what it is.
Executive chef.
Executive chef. That's what it is.
Listen, I'm not a clipboard type of gal.
But that's the difference, correct?
I like to be in it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love the day-to-day.
Yeah.
I really love, when it's busy and all cylinders are firing and, the servers are moving and the cooks are working and you don't even
clanging of the pots and
you don't need to talk to each other. You look at each other and you're spinning around each other.
Behind.
Yeah, it's a symphony.
Yeah. Yes, chef. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an orchestra.
Yeah.
It's really, that's the fun part. So I don't want to be stuck doing the ordering. Put me in the action. I want the action. That's what I live for.
It's amazing. So you go now you're at Mesa Grill.
Yep.
And then, is Mesa Grill's not even there anymore?
Yeah, so I went from Bar American Manhattan. I moved to Connecticut. Then I went to Mesa Grill, New York. I had a really bad accident. This is like 13 years ago. I went off an 8-foot cliff on a snowmobile. I shattered my pelvis. I was out of work for 6 months. Flay held my job for me. Amazing.
No way.
Yes. And then I went out to Mesa Grill, Vegas when I came back. I was there for like 6 months. And then when I came back to New York, we opened Gatto.
Yep.
And then that's when somebody called me and they were like, hey, my father-in-law wants to invest in a restaurant. And I was like, nah, I'm good. And I was like, I'm opening Gatto in Manhattan. And like, this is like a huge step in my career, like super high profile restaurant opening. And this would have been my second restaurant opening at the time. And I was just like really looking forward to being a part of that. And
I mean, how old are you at this point? You're probably not even 30.
I think like this has to be like 2000. This is like 13 years ago. So
How old are you? I don't even know how old you are. You look like a baby.
Thank you. I like that. We'll keep the age to a secret.
Exactly. It's just a number. Yeah.
I will keep getting Botox until the day I die. I need to re-up because it's giving it away.
You look good. You look good. You look good.
So yeah, this is like, I don't know, maybe I wasn't 30. I was in my late 20s at the time. And you know what? Then we opened Gatto, and it was intense. It was a lot. It was like very mentally challenging.
Well, that was like a true New York City restaurant. I mean, these are New York City restaurants.
It was a big deal. It was a big deal. Lots of like New York Times review. I mean, big, important people. And I didn't have a day off for like 95 days.
Wow.
And they were long days. And I was commuting from Jersey to the city. And like, I was like starting to crack a little from like the pressure and the hours.
Probably all of it. You don't have a social life. Your social life is your work life.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that person with the father-in-law, they called me back and they were like, he still wants to invest. And I was like, all right, if I could do this for somebody else, like I could do, if I'm going to kill myself for somebody else.
Might as well be for yourself.
Exactly. So we started looking. And this guy he just like nothing. He didn't want to pull the trigger. So Carl called me. Or maybe I called Carl. I'm like, we can't find anything. He goes, meet me at my restaurant. So I drive to Chatham.
What restaurant was he at?
He had Marie's. It was called Marie's Italian Specialties or something like that.
Okay.
And I pull up and he goes, get in my car. And Carl has like this old red Ford pickup. But like he has like one of those covers on the back, right? Uh-huh. And on the front of the hood, he has this gold pig with wings on it that's like hanging off the hood.
Like when pigs fly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we get in his car. He cracks the windows open. He's chain smoking his Marlboro Lights.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And I go, where are we going? He goes, don't worry about it. Just come with me. So we go to Morristown. And he parks out front on South Street by the theater. And he goes, all right, listen, we're going to go in and you're going to just tell them that you're having a party and you want a menu and look around. This is a space. I'm like, you're ambushing me. Like, why can't we just say what we're here for? He goes, trust me, just do it like this. So we go inside. I see the person. I'm like, excuse me, I wanted to have a surprise party for my mom. Do you think that you can get us a couple menus? And so they're like, yeah, no problem, hun. So I'm like, take my camera. I'm taking pictures of everything. And I send them to my friend. And he just, again, was like trigger shy. But I was so obsessed with the space. They had a big patio. It was located right next to a theater. And so Carl introduced me to
South and Pine.
Yeah. And we opened 10 years ago.
It's amazing.
10 years ago in May.
So where does all the TV stuff, because that's the fun stuff for people who are listening, right?
Okay.
So you said you were on, why am I blanking?
Iron Chef.
Thank you.
Yes.
Iron Chef.
That was the first one.
As
Bobby's sous chef.
I was going to say, with Bobby, that is intense.
Yeah.
First of all, you must have been so excited, nervous.
Fucking nervous.
Everything.
Nervous.
Doing it for Bobby,
Yep.
who is a perfectionist and intense from what it seems like. 2, doing it on a show that is what started you loving all of this.
Yeah.
3, it's just, and it's TV. I mean, it's balls to the wall.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like, all right, so like you grow up watching Kitchen Stadium on your grandpa's TV every Sunday night, and then like you walk in and you're in fucking Kitchen Stadium. I I was going to pass out. I mean, I could not believe, first of all, I didn't want to do it. I was scared shitless. I was so nervous.
I want to look up the episode.
Oh, you have to. I'll give them to you.
Yeah,
I'll give them
I'm
to
so
you.
good. Was it more than one episode that you did?
Yeah, I did I think 3 Iron Chef Americas and 2 Iron Chef Showdowns.
So when he did it, he was the Iron Chef.
Uh-huh.
So what was your first time doing? What was the ingredient?
Oh man, I think the first one was strip steak, if I'm not mistaken. I was so nervous. And I had so much mandolin work to do. Like I had so many knife cuts on the mandolin.
Yeah.
Ginger, Fresno chilies, garlic, something else. And so you find out the ingredient, you have a little powwow, you make up a plan.
So this is what I think a lot of foodie people would want to know.
Mm-hmm.
When you go on a show like this, there's no prep. There's no game plan before.
No.
It's not like, if it's steak, we're doing this. If it's this, we're doing... No.
No.
So what we see is what it is.
Yeah, it's true.
Wow.
And it's really 60 minutes. There's no editing. No editing. It is true. Even on Chopped, it is a true, the
Really?
first round is 15 minutes. 15 minutes is what you get. It's intense. And so you have 60 minutes to make, I think it was 5 dishes, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's 13 minutes a dish, 12
And they have to
minutes a
make
dish.
sense.
Yes. So we have our powwow. I go run. They're like, time starts now. You run over to the pantry. You go get all your shit. You run back over. And now there's cameras everywhere. Now, at this point, I had never been on a cooking show before. So I don't know what this is like. So this camera guy's in your face.
Are you still looking at the camera like you did with Guy Fieri?
I'm in it. I'm 60 minutes. Let's go. But your hands are shaking so bad. It takes you a couple minutes to get rid of the jitters
Sure.
and just be like, dude, I cook every day. Just cook, right?
Yeah.
So I get all my ingredients and I get my cutting board set up and I'm flying on the mandolin, cutting ginger. And then I grab the chilies and I cut the chilies. And the camera guy is in my face with the camera and he's like, ow, 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 ow. And I'm like, dude, stop doing that.
Oh my God.
So I slice my hand on the mandolin.
You call the medic? Medic.
Yeah, I mean, you can kind of...
I'm sure you have some scars. Yeah.
I cut it from here down.
Oh my God.
Sliced my hand open and I drop the thing and I go, Renee was his culinary director. I go, Renee, I did it. I cut myself. I knew I was going to cut myself. So we had a little first aid bowl set up. So she's like, come over here. So we rinse my hand off. I put a Band-Aid on it. I put a glove on. The glove is a latex glove that you can kind of see through.
Yeah.
The glove fills with blood.
Oh my God.
Fills up with blood. So they're like, medic. So I'm they're 25 minutes remain. They're like, are you okay? I'm like, wrap it up. We gotta go.
Oh my God.
So they had to put a black glove on and tape it at the wrist because my hand was bleeding so bad. But we fucking crushed it and we won.
Do you remember who it was against?
I think it was Joe Isidori.
Wow.
From Arthur and Sons, which he's a big deal.
Yeah.
I just went to my very, very good friend, Rebecca Brooks, does his PR.
Okay.
And she was so sweet to invite us to he opened a second location in the city. So she invited us and I got to go and have a little chat with him. And I was like, hey, it's so nice to be here. I don't know if you remember me, but he was like, yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
It was really sweet.
So you did Iron Chef 3 times.
Uh-huh.
You did Chopped.
I did Chopped.
Had you a lot of times or more once?
So I didn't realize that it was going to be a tournament style Chopped. So there were 4 different episodes and the winner of each had to go up against each other.
Yep.
So this was 2020, end of 2020.
Okay.
COVID.
Wow.
So we filmed in Tennessee. You were not allowed to leave your hotel room. You were not allowed to go anywhere. So we were
Because of COVID?
Yeah, because of COVID.
Wow.
It was very strict. They would test you every morning. And
Why Tennessee? Was it a certain theme?
No, they were filming in Knoxville. I don't know. I guess there's a big Discovery filming studio there. Yeah. That was really fun. That was also
Was it all like chefs like you, your level?
Yeah.
Chefs you knew?
Nobody that I knew.
Okay.
But it's stressful.
Yeah.
It's stressful and in a different way than than Iron Chef is, because on Iron Chef, like, you're working with Flay. You know what I mean?
And
like,
you have a team.
Yeah, he's done this a million times. Like, if you start to screw up, like, he's got you. Like, you're on a team. This one, you're on a boat by yourself.
Chop seems intense.
Oh my God, it stresses me out. It stresses me out watching, and then like you do it, and then you're
on TV, and you're like 15 minutes,
And it was Alton Brown's maniacal basket challenge.
Oh
so
my
it was
God.
like the most wacky shit.
Do you remember the basket?
Yeah, the first basket was lutefisk.
No clue what that is.
I didn't know. I had no idea what it was. It's a Swedish or Norwegian or Scandinavian, something like that, cured fish that is cured and preserved in lye, which is like a cleaning solution.
Yes, of course.
So it's in like a plastic, and you have to open it.
Uh-huh.
And it's like soft and squishy like a sponge, but if you want to put your finger through the flesh, like your finger would go through really easily. So it's like a very strange texture.
Sounds nasty.
And it smells god awful.
I'm
So
sure.
there was that. There was dill pickle flavored jelly beans, black radishes, and tuna fish casserole, like a pre-cooked tuna fish
I
casserole.
hate that. That's disgusting.
Dude, it's tuna fish is on
First of all,
my
with
top
the-
5 list of foods that I hate. Canned tuna fish.
That will not be on the menu at St. Clair.
It will not be.
So I was gonna say the tuna fish with that disgusting salmon that's disgusting.
Fishy.
So were you out after the first round?
No, I kicked ass.
Oh, I love it.
Crushed it. I won that.
You won
episode.
that episode. You won. You make it to the second round, and
You gotta watch. You want me to have
Yeah.
spoilers? Spoiler
No.
alert.
No, I want the episodes. I want to
I'm
know.
gonna give you
okay,
the episodes.
fine. I love that. So so have you done Beat Bobby Flay?
I did beat Bobby Flay. I
And?
did it twice.
And
I lost both times, but I
Damn
went
it.
up against him both times.
I'll tell you, as a viewer who always watches Beat Bobby Flay,
Uh-huh.
there's no way he beats
Dude,
everybody.
he's so good.
It's
I'm
like
sorry.
he's like an idiot savant or something when it
He's
comes to it.
so good.
And he doesn't get any prep either.
No.
So okay, you do Beat Bobby Flay the first time. Did you make it to competing against
Yep.
him?
Mhm, both times.
Okay, so what was the ingredient that you had to beat the other person with? Do you remember?
I know one of the times it was zucchini. Maybe the other time was beef. I feel like I made steak tartare once.
And so what were the dishes that you... Oh, because you do the revenge
you
Beat
get
Bobby
to
Flay.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So
I get to choose. So you know what you're going into the round with Flay for is.
what was your
the
first one?
first one was pork chops and applesauce.
I think I saw that episode.
And the second one was a burger, a brunch
And they
burger.
go pork chops and applesauce. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
My family
and
used to say that, my uncle.
the second one was a burger.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, the judges were like eating his burger. They're like, this is the kind of bun that comes from a gas station. This is the kind of cheese that's wrapped in plastic.
And then they pick him.
yeah, and I gave him
Well,
a
you're
hug.
also beating. That's a hard thing to beat Bobby Flay with is a burger.
Yeah. Not my smartest move.
No, I'm sorry.
I should
I
have
was
picked a dessert. I should have picked a dessert. But I gave him a hug, and in his ear, I go, this is fucking rigged. And he started laughing. We had to film it over again. They're
That's
like, cut,
hysterical.
do it over again, do it over again.
So what year was Top Chef?
Top Chef, I want to say, was like end of 2021 because it was still like during the COVID times
It
because
was.
every morning they had to test us.
And you could see everybody wearing masks as they're in the Whole
yeah.
Foods.
Listen,
So you're now like in the Food Network like cog.
I guess.
Well, if you're doing Chopped, you're doing Beat Bobby Flay,
Mm-hmm.
you're doing Iron Chef, and Top Chef, though not Food Network, it's Bravo,
Yeah.
but still in that like whole
In the land,
situation.
yeah.
So did you had to obviously audition for Top Chef?
Yeah.
Did
you have to
you
go through
want-
a long process.
Did they ask you or did you want to do it?
They reached out to me, but of course I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I get stressed out watching these shows. So, like, I'm scared. Like, I feel like sometimes with Top Chef, I feel like I have to take a Xanax. Like, I still watch.
Of course.
I've watched since season 1.
Same.
I mean, Harold on season 1, like those. I love Ariane Duarte. She's one of my good friends
Yes.
now. When she came to South and Pine, I was shitting my pants. I was like, I cannot believe this woman's here.
I
I'm
know,
a fan.
and she's the cutest thing
love
ever.
her.
She's so cute.
I love her.
I saw her when she did. She used to work at Orange Lawn. She did the restaurant there. She's so cute,
I
but
know.
you see her on there and you're like, these are celebrities.
Yeah.
They become celebrities. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a long process. It's like months. Like I want to even say 6 months. You have to
Wow.
like interview with one person, then you make it to the next round. You interview with another person, and then there's like forms and a process of elimination, and you keep getting updated. Okay, you're making it to the next round. Okay, you're making it to the next one. And so I actually was out to dinner with 2 really good friends at Arian's restaurant.
Oh, it's so
in
funny.
Verona.
Yeah.
And,
That was a great restaurant.
great restaurant. One of the best pork chops I've
Yeah.
ever had. And we're sitting at dinner, and I get a phone call from this LA number. And I'm like, who is this? So I pick up, and it's one of the casting people. And they're like, hey, you have a minute? And I'm like, yeah. So I run outside, and he's like, listen, I was on an alternate list. I didn't get chosen.
Wow.
But he's like, you can make it on still. If somebody backs out or somebody gets COVID or something happens, you'll get bumped in. So I see this number come up. I answer the phone, and they're like, you're in. And I'm like, no fucking way. Holy shit. So I run back inside, and we all like pop a bottle of champagne and celebrate. And I can't believe that it's like I'm at Arian's restaurant, and this is
happens.
the call that
That's
I get.
wild.
I know.
That's
So-
amazing.
So I get on a plane and I go to Houston, and this is like the worst. Like this could not have happened any more badly. I land, you get to the hotel, someone picks you up, you get to the hotel, you can't touch your bags. They take your bags, they go through everything to make sure that like you are not like bringing in anything that you're not supposed to.
Sure.
And so I say to the people, like, hey, I'm really not feeling well. Like, can I go to an urgent care and get some antibiotics? And they're like, well, what's going on? And I'm like, well, I really don't feel like super comfortable telling anyone, but like, I know my body and I just want to go. And they're like, you need to tell us. So I inform them. They bring me to urgent care. Lo and behold, I need to be put on antibiotics. And then like the next day happens. It's Saturday. And it's kind of like a dumbed down day. Like
Yep.
they come and they fit you for your chef's jacket, and they make sure that you don't have any books that you're not supposed to have. And then they do like a preliminary interview with you where they like get to know you, and you're on camera. They pick out your wardrobe, what you're going to wear during your interviews. And so like I felt okay. And then the next morning you start filming. So you're there for like a day and a half, and then you are in it.
Yep.
So we start filming. We did the quickfire challenge. I don't feel fantastic. And immediately after quickfire, you go to Whole Foods. And so
To start the elimination challenge.
yeah, to go shopping for elimination
Yeah.
challenge. So we get to Whole Foods, and we all go shopping, and I'm like really not feeling great. Now, mind you, we are in Houston. It is August.
Yeah.
It's hot, okay? I am freezing. Shivering. I keep needing to put a sweater on.
I just watched the episode.
Mm-hmm.
You keep putting your black sweater on. You could tell you don't feel good, by the way.
Yeah.
And they say one of the other chefs is saying that you didn't feel good.
Yeah. So we're at Whole Foods by 6:30 p.m. I'm like, please, can I please use the restroom? They're like, we just need to finish shooting this and then you can go. So you're like waiting like a little, an hour and a half
Yeah.
to go to the bathroom. So I go to the bathroom. I look in the toilet. I'm urinating blood. I have 102-degree fever. I'm like, please, I need to go to the emergency room or somewhere. So we stop filming. They're like, we need to go back and we need to film this one more scene at the little clubhouse for the chefs. I know. And then they're like, then we'll take you. So I go back to another urgent care. They give me an IV full of antibiotics. And then the following morning, it's time to get up. And like someone knocks on your door. They want to like film you brushing your teeth. I break down. I'm crying. I like can't even stand up
Yeah.
straight. I'm in so much pain. I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't feel good. But they're like, do you want to sit this out? I'm like, no. Like
No,
I
stop,
can't.
chef.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't sit this out. So like you go outside. They're like, all right, everybody run to the cars, get in the cars and start to drive. So you like run. They're like, all right, let's do it again. All right, let's do it again. So you're like doing this like 4 times for the intro. And then like you get to the location and it's like run up the stairs. Let's do it again, everybody.
Yeah.
Get back in the car. So
Oh
like,
my God.
by the time we're like inside and we have to tour the kitchen, I cannot stand up anymore. So they're like, do you want to sit this out? I'm like, no, just please let me rest until it's time to cook. And so I am in a fetal position in a corner until they're like, Leah, you're on in 5 minutes. I go up to the kitchen. I do my best. I was very disoriented. I just didn't have the energy.
Yeah.
And I was like borderline delirious. When we all finished cooking, we went back to where judging was.
Yeah.
And I was in like this little tent on the concrete floor in a ball, because now they need to get ready for judging and people's makeup touch-ups. And so you're waiting for like 3 hours.
Oh, my God.
So if you watch that episode, I'm not even standing at a certain point during the judging because I couldn't stand up. They had to get me a stool.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, I got eliminated.
Yeah.
Now, did I get eliminated because my performance was the worst, or did I get eliminated because they could clearly see the state that I was in?
Oh, interesting.
I don't know.
I mean, you listened to the judging, right? You made the spring roll with the steak inside, the
Yes,
rib, the
it was
ribeye.
overfilled.
Yeah. It was blah, blah, blah.
Okay, sure.
Maybe.
Valid.
Yep.
Valid. Listen, I was not my best in that moment. You know what I mean?
If they had a Top Chef now that was like a revenge Top Chef, would you do it?
I would do it.
Like, do you feel...
Did you watch Last Chance Kitchen?
No, actually, want to know what's funny is I went to look at it and it was... Your season was not there. It was for some reason, if you look on Peacock, that's where I looked.
I'm offended. I'm calling Peacock.
It's weird because it's like the one season that's not there.
I fucking crushed it in Last Chance Kitchen. Listen, after I got eliminated, I went back to my room. They still made me go back to the clubhouse and film. I was dying, okay?
Yeah.
I went back to my room. They sent a doctor to my hotel room. While I'm in my hotel giving me IV antibiotics,
Yeah.
I passed out. I was exhausted, drained. Next morning, I woke up. Now, mind you, at this point, they take away your phone. They take away your computer.
Yeah.
You cannot have your watch. You don't have a landline phone in your room. They take the TV out of your room. You have nothing.
I would never make it.
That
to me sounds
Maybe
like-
this is why
That sounds like hell.
my
yeah.
body was shutting down. So I like get up from my bed, walk to the bathroom, and then from the bathroom to my bed, I don't know what happened. I fucking blacked out. I fell down. I hit my face on the ground. I woke up a few minutes later. I had a huge black and blue on my chin, and I'm screaming, "Help me! Help! Somebody help!" Nobody could hear me.
Oh, my God.
I'm army crawl to
Out
the door. On the person across from me, it's a PA, thank God. I'm like, guys, I fell. I woke up on the floor. I don't know what happened. I need to go to the hospital. I'm in the hospital for 11 hours. I have a severe bladder infection. They need to pump me full of drugs. I mean, it was
Bad.
They were like, if you didn't come, you would have gone into septic shock.
Oh, my God.
Serious. So I ended up staying because I wanted to be on Last Chance Kitchen. I wanted to get back in. So I was like bedridden for a week. I binge watched The Sopranos. I was like, I am Meadow.
Yes.
I am Meadow Soprano. We are manifesting this. Somebody get me a bowl of ziti. Like, I just wanted to eat pasta.
Oh, my God.
But I needed to feel like home.
Yeah.
So, and then I slowly got better. I mean, I had to go to specialists.
Oh, my God.
My bladder was like, it was a mess.
Do you feel like incomplete because of that was the way it all played out?
No, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I am very honored that I had the chance to be on
Sure.
a show of that caliber. And to be honest, who is winning against Chef Buddha Low?
I mean, forget it. I know. It was a tough...
Fuck me.
It was a
Get
very
me out
tough...
in the beginning.
I know.
I'm good. There's no...
Would you do Tournament of Champions?
I would love to.
I would love to see you on that.
Write an email,
Let's
girl.
do it.
Write
Well,
an
maybe
email.
someone's listening. Maybe Guy's listening.
Maybe.
I'm going to tag him.
I know
You did
him.
mention him, so let's get
Yeah,
you on that.
Of course. Yeah, that would be really
I think that would be
fun.
amazing.
Yeah, I mean, listen, there's a lot of people that I admire, and I think that that's a great, fun show to watch.
It's awesome.
The competitions are fun.
Yeah.
They are a lot of fun. They are stressful.
Well, it's a good time to test your skill, and it just gets you out of, it's something different.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to St. Clair. Most exciting thing.
I know.
Okay, so
Okay.
looking to open June 2025.
Yes.
What can people expect? What's the food going to be like? What's the vibe?
So people keep asking, okay, so let's start with the vibe. So when we found this space really fell in our laps. We weren't looking for this space. We got very lucky, but again, everything happens for a reason. I believe that I've been manifesting this for a long time, and now this is like the manifestation has come to life. We're on Church Street in Montclair. So when we were brainstorming about ideas, I was like, what's related to church? Saint Clair is short for Claire. So like we want to be a good representation for the community. I don't know if you could tell in my other restaurants, Central and Main, South and Pine, street names of the community. I'm really big on being like a place in the community that is a haven for foodies, and what's the word that I'm looking for? It's gone. It's
like a communal place where people can sit and, like you said earlier,
a
that
church
you can
for foodies.
Yeah.
Yes.
But people can come and commiserate, whether you're having a special occasion, whether you're having a bad day.
Yes.
They come here,
Yes.
and you know it's going to be a good meal.
Yeah, and I want people to come like with their family for brunch on the weekend, and then for a date night on a Friday night with their partner, or for a girls' night out, or ladies who lunch, or business people.
So it's going to be brunch, lunch, dinner.
It's going to be brunch, lunch, dinner.
Okay.
7 days a week, right off the bat.
Amazing.
We're going to rip the Band-Aid off.
Do it.
I feel like that's the only way to do it. Like, just
listen,
get it over
you know
with.
what the people want here? They want that. So
Yeah, for sure. I feel like brunch is a really big part of this community, so we obviously want to be a part of that. And we're in very good company here on Church Street, so
Amazing
we just
company.
hope to lend to that. So the vibe is going to be cool.
Yes, of course.
I mean, as you can see from these beautiful ceilings, like you are getting that kind of cathedral vibe. So we're going to lean into that a little bit. Downstairs is going to be a little bit more light, bright. A lot of like these earthy kind of tones and some greens. And there's going to be a sick mural above the kitchen.
I love that.
That's going to be really cool. The kitchen was not open. We cut a hole there.
Wow.
So that you can, I feel like watching the kitchen is like a part of the magic.
Totally.
So I'm super excited.
Are there going to be stools here?
Yeah, it's going to be a mocktail coffee bar.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And what about upstairs?
Upstairs is going to be called the Romeo and Juliet Lounge. Now, like, I don't know how old you are, but growing up, exactly, age is just a number.
Whatever.
Did you love Romeo and Juliet 1996 with Leonardo DiCaprio and Claire Danes?
Who didn't?
Right?
It was like the Cliff Notes to Shakespeare.
100%.
Yeah.
So that's upstairs room is going to be very much inspired from that movie.
Amazing.
I was just really drawn by like the fluorescent crosses and thinking about like that scene in the church with like all the drippy candles everywhere. So upstairs is going to be a little bit more dark, sexy, sultry. Like there might be a little nod to a confessional booth in the restaurant, which is like kind of cool.
Yeah.
First
like
time
who needs a speakeasy when you have a confessional booth?
Exactly,
Yeah. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're really excited about the design. Food is like, everyone's like, what kind of restaurant is it going to be? And I feel like it's Leia Gaccione's food,
Love
which
that.
is like, I guess, very seasonal and inspired by global flavors, but
Locally sourced.
Locally sourced for sure, but like Jamie Knott always says that I have a Mediterranean restaurant, which is funny because I don't have a Mediterranean restaurant. But if you like are familiar with the Mediterranean diet, I feel like I do tend to cook very much like that.
Fish, vegetables, grains.
Yes.
Yep.
I tend to cook how I like to eat because I love to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm in the restaurant 5, 6, 7 days a week. Now, we need to have something healthy.
Yes, we do.
Because we need to, take care of
our temples within.
How many years do we have left here? We're going to have 3 salads on the menu. I think you have to have a Caesar, right?
Yeah, everyone loves
Caesar's
a Caesar
classic,
with the protein.
Yep,
Yeah.
ours is going to be special. But I'm also going to do a wedge salad, but not traditional. I'm going to do like an herby tahini dressing with like fresh radishes and fennel and feta cheese and toasted sesame seeds.
Jamie Knott. That's your Mediterranean.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so yeah, it's going to be fun. We're going to do a merguez corn dog with a green harissa yogurt. I'm going to do like a little skillet cornbread with toasted coriander and cultured butter.
Yum.
So yeah, like everything in moderation. Definitely some things that are more indulgent, like duck
course.
fat tater tots. But then we're going to do a grilled salmon dish served over like a warm lentil salad with charred broccolini and a little grapefruit vinaigrette on top. So like
Yum.
something for everyone. That's what I really want it to be. I want it to be something for everyone. And I want you to look at the menu and like be like, ooh, I can't wait to eat all of that.
All of that and come back and try this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like torn between because,
Yes.
and you're like, I'm just going to come back anyway.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, until it opens, you're doing pop-ups
Yeah.
at Walnut Street Kitchen.
Uh-huh.
So people can look for, actually they should follow St. Clair.
Both are sold out already.
I saw, which is amazing. And I would have gone to the first one, but I don't eat red meat.
Okay.
The second one looked amazing. I'm just not here.
Okay.
The second one looked, I love that menu.
I know, that's what a lot of people said. I think we're going to do a third one.
All right.
I think we have to.
So I think you do it until this opens.
Yeah.
Because it's fun for you and it gets people excited for what's about to be.
Yeah.
Right? So they can find all of the details for everything, right? For your opening, for your Walnut Street Kitchen pop-ups, for anything else you want to do at
the St. Clair NJ on Instagram.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
At Saint spelled SAINT.
Yes.
CLAIR.
Yes. The St. Clair NJ.
Okay, I'm going to put it in the post and in the notes.
Great.
How do you
Love
like that?
I love it.
Well, I think New Jersey is ready. I think Montclair is ready.
I hope so.
I think Leia herself is ready.
I'm ready.
I'm telling you, I said it in the beginning and I'm saying it again. The energy in here, you feel it. Look, there's like lights that have come on in here. It may be a construction light, but it's still, I mean, there's really good energy. I'm so excited. I'm excited for you since now you're my friend.
Yes.
And I just think it's going to be a huge success.
Thank you. I
So
hope so.
I think, as we said, Church Street is already buzzing on its own. I
Yeah.
think this is going to be the final stamp in that.
Yes.
How do you like that?
I love it.
Thank you
From
so
your
much.
mouth to God's ears.
I mean, amen, sister. Thank you so much for sitting with me today.
Yeah, thank you. It's my pleasure.
and I
thank you
can't
so
wait
much
to eat here.
I can't wait for you to eat here either.
Me too.
Well, we'll have to get you to a pop-up before we open.
We're gonna.
Yeah.
The next one.
Yes.
And that's our cue.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. Thank you so much. If you are hearing this message, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm truly grateful for you and this opportunity. The purpose of the Behind the Counter podcast is to bring food, people, and community together. I hope you'll return for more episodes and explore with me. I want to personally thank Fran Linnell of Design 68 for my amazing Behind the Counter podcast logo, and Travis Lohenberg for my awesome Behind the Counter music, and all the guests that take their time to sit and talk with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you hear your podcasts. If you'd like to support the Behind the Counter podcast, please subscribe, share with your friends and family, and you can follow me on Instagram at Heidi Blum. If you have any feedback or stories that you want to share, you can email me at foodsarbtc@gmail.com.